Here are some other misconceptions about anthropology. Anthropology is not just the study of bones. However, the study of human bones is involved in the anthropological field of biological anthropology, which is of course what we are studying. Anthropology is not just the study of arrowheads or stone tools, but this is involved in the anthropological field of archaeology. Anthropology is not just a study of exotic people who live in the nude, but cultural anthropologists are interested in human societies all over the world, including their own societies. You may be wondering, how is anthropology different from other fields of studies? One feature of anthropology that makes it unique is that it is humanistic and scientific. It is often called the most humane of the sciences and the most scientific of the humanities. How else is anthropology different? Anthropology is humanistic. Let's explore that side a little bit. Many fields of anthropology will use methods that are descriptive, interpretive, and analytical, in contrast to the exclusively empirical methods of the hard sciences. These methods seek mainly qualitative data, which can be non-statistical information or is more likely to be non-statistical, as opposed to quantitative, which is measurable and statistical data. Let's just think qualitative is more descriptive and quantitative is more numbers-based. However, not to confuse anyone, you can quantify qualitative data. Anthropology's involvement with people of all times and places allows anthropologists to gain a wealth of information relevant to the humanities, such as language studies, religious studies, history, music, art, literature, etc. Anthropology is also scientific. It's a science which relies on empirical data. A lot of times, the humanistic or scientific sides will depend upon what exactly is being studied within anthropology, and if we are studying cultural anthropology or biological anthropology. More often in biological anthropology, we will use empirical studies and quantitative data. Anthropologists often begin with a hypothesis or a research question and gather various kinds of data in order to ground these explanations and develop theories. Scientific research is conducted in many diverse fields within anthropology, not just biological anthropology. Therefore, anthropology is humanistic and scientific. Like physical anthropologists, biologists investigate human adaptation and evolution. Similarly, historians and sociologists also study aspects of human societies, past and present. But when biological or social research also considers the interaction between evolutionary and culture factors, it is included in the discipline of anthropology. I've already mentioned a few fields of anthropology. Traditionally, there was a four-field approach within anthropology, and it focused on the four traditional fields: biological anthropology, also called physical, archaeology, linguistic anthropology, cultural anthropology. There is now another field called applied anthropology, which can use any of the above fields and is often called the fifth field of anthropology. So here are the five fields: biological anthropology, linguistic anthropology, archaeology, cultural anthropology, and applied anthropology. Keep in mind that biological is also called physical. Sometimes it depends on where you're studying or which college you're at, but they're the same thing. Let's move on to one of these fields of anthropology. Cultural anthropology is, like it sounds, the study of culture, a society's shared and learned ideas, behaviors, and perceptions. This brings us to two concepts: society, which is a group of people who interact, intermarry, and share a language and culture, and the culture, which is the system of shared and learned behaviors in a society. It's important to remember that culture cannot exist and persist without a society. It needs people to learn it, share it, and transmit it across generations. And every society has a culture. Cultural anthropology has two main components: ethnography and ethnology. These two terms sound similar, so make sure you know the difference. An ethnography is a written description or profile of a particular society's culture. So basically, it's a write-up of a culture. It could be an article or a book. There are also ethnographic methods in digital forms, such as photography and video, but it's a description of a culture. Ethnology is the use of that ethnographic data, or multiple descriptions of multiple cultures, to analyze different cultures and explain similarities and or differences between groups of people in order to formulate hypotheses regarding fundamental aspects of human behavior. So ethnology is studying cultures to understand more about humanity.